Great on, in particular the fourth quarter. We had some people talking about coaching. Um, uh, I don't think I think Cade handled the double team well yesterday and the physical play. It's just, in my opinion, it's hard to watch the NBA because what they call a foul, it don't be fouls. I mean, I see a lot of offensive players on both ends bumping into the defender or pushing off on the defender, and it's either a no call on the offense or it's a defensive foul. There was a lot of foul calls out there just watching the games yesterday that, if the NBA really wants to catch the NFL, or they want to, get more people to watch, they got to let some physicality go. If these guys, hold on real quick, if these guys are some of the greatest, are supposed to be the greatest scorers, why continue to make it easy for them? Why continue to make it easy for them to score? To me, watching yesterday, it was just, and a lot of people considered the Knicks and Pistons, they let them play. I just didn't really like a couple of the calls on the SAR, how you can't touch Jalen Brunson. I just, it's a hard, the NBA is a hard watch. It really is. It's a hard watch because I think a lot of people complain about the three-point shooting contest. In my opinion, I think they got a free throw shooting problem. Let these guys play through contact. And I watched yesterday, it was some calls where Asar or Cade might have beat the ball handler to the spot. He ran into him instead of running out of bounds, and it was a foul on us. The NBA, they got a lot to work on. And they number one duty, look here, if you're a phenomenal scorer, you're a phenomenal scorer. They need to allow contact back in the basketball because it's really a contactless sport. Tell me if I'm lying. And this is just from, watching a few games outside the Pistons I watched this year. It's just, what happened to masculinity in America? What happened? I seen a couple good blocks yesterday, and a couple things that I didn't even, on both sides, in multiple games, that I didn't think was a foul. If these guys, if Brunson, Cunningham, guys like Giannis, and all the terrific scorers in the league, if they are as good as scorers as they are, say Gillingsley, shouldn't they be able to score through contact? Alex, salute. That's all I'm saying. Like, even when I go to the game, it's even more of a hard watch to go through the game and watch this shit, man. It's a lot of, if real talk, my biggest pet peeve watching is a lot of these foul calls that should either be offensive foul, or it should be a no call. Every little bump, every little push, like, damn. Can we let these brothers play basketball? He said Craig dribbling too much, throw the pass, too many turnovers. Well, he was ill prepared for what they was gonna throw at him. I wasn't mad. The turnovers, I expected that. I expected the turnovers from the least experienced team. In reality, these guys ain't played together long. So you expect the turnovers. I'm not mad at Cade over dribbling. I'm pretty much mad to the point he made a lot of the right passes. He handled the double team well. So, now it's time to get him the ball, moving with the ball. And this is a series where they missed Jaden Ivey. I think they probably would have been the third or fourth seed had they had Jaden Ivey this whole thing. They need somebody else outside of Beasley that can get them a bucket. That's what you seen yesterday. They didn't have nobody outside of Beasley that could score a bucket. like consistently. Tobias did his thing yesterday, and they're going to force Tobias Harris to beat them. So you got a couple options. You can fire up the Sasser and allow Sasser to go out there and get a bucket, or you can free K Cunningham up by allowing Malik Beasley to create. I mean, to allow Schroeder to create offense for him. That's it. K should be getting the ball against a rotating defense. He should be catching it on the move where the defense and the double team can't get set. That's the next adjustment for JB Bickerstaff, is to get the ball to K Cunningham while he on the move. That way, they tried to isolate the side and post him up. See, K Cunningham playing in Detroit, they don't allow him to get the benefit of the doubt contact calls that Jalen Brunson get. When Brunson get bumped, it's a foul. When K get bumped, it's not really, they don't call it. It was a couple times where K should have been at the free throw line. They allow them to be physical, not to be physical with Bronson, but you could be physical with Cade. That's the difference. Now, it may be a size thing. It just may be a referee thing. It may be an anti-Detroit thing. But to be honest with you, they got to get the ball to him on the move. And this is serious. You miss Ivy. A guy like Ivy, who was shooting the ball well, who was getting to the rack, attacking, you miss that guy. And Asar Thompson and Tim Hardaway, anybody not named Malik Beasley, Sasser, and Cade, them is your three scorers on the team. And Schroeder can do it in increments. But they're missing their three scorers. They missing Ivy. So when you let Cade come out, Ivy can run the show. He can go get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? The way he was shooting, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what you really, really missing right now. For the Knicks, they have some guys step up that historically don't step up and score. The African booty scratcher, he been playing well for a month, but he ain't gonna score like that every game. OG Anunoby, the African booty snatcher, and then Cameron Payne is not gonna play like that every game. So in reality, the Pistons really had some turning points in this game. The Tim Hardaway thing that should have been an and one, but I guess it didn't clear the goal, which it should have been a foul bare minimum, especially the way they was calling that game. Somebody else missed a fucking layup. I want to say Asar, he missed a layup or something like that, or put back. It was a lot of opportunities that they missed. I mean, layups. Open shots from Tim Hardaway Jr. that they really could have put the game away. So even leading into that fourth quarter, they was leaving a lot to be desired. They left a lot of points on the floor. Some missed free throws, a missed dunk. I think it was a couple missed dunks. I think Asar missed the dunk. He missed the dunk. Asar missed the putback. So it was some easy opportunities in which they missed yesterday. They missed a bunch of easy opportunities yesterday. In that third quarter alone, they lost it. They left about 10 points out there in the third quarter. And then you turn around and give up 8 straight in the fourth quarter on the inbound. It looked to me, they going into that fourth quarter, they was playing with confidence. To me, it looked like Vegas made a call. And the Pistons was told to lay down. And I'm not saying that's the case, but that's what it looked like. It's just like they made a call and was like, hey, lay down. Schroeder inballing the ball coming in the fourth quarter. It got to the point, where the fuck is Paul Reed? Tobias guard Karl Anthony Towns and Isaiah Stewart getting hurt. We'll put Paul Reed in there. He got 5 fouls. Use him. And Isaiah Stewart is a big difference maker defensively. He made some plays, in my opinion. And I don't know what the numbers were, but in my opinion, he played better than Duran did yesterday. He made a bunch of, difference makers, different making shot blocks and defensive, and really when he went out the game, it changed. Let's keep it real. When Isaiah Stewart left out the game yesterday, that's where they really got in trouble at. When Tobias was able to get Cat. So the way they called it, they called fouls one way to be for real. They favor New York very heavily. And my thing is this: why do we need to favor any team in the NBA? New York got about 5 motherfuckers getting paid a lot of money. Cat, Brunson, Bridges, Cat, Brunson, Bridges, OG, the African booty scratcher. You know what I'm saying? They got several people making a whole bunch of money. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. But when Stewart went out, that was a huge difference. That really was a make or break for the Pistons. But start that fourth quarter out, I don't know what they was on, to be honest. It's just like they just told them, time to lay down, Pistons. That's what it looked like. So he said they started playing with that regular season mental like kids or something for the first time. They didn't know what to expect. I mean, I don't know why. Getting into the fourth quarter, they was up 8 points. In reality, they should have been up 16 points. They should have been up 16 points. A couple missed dunks, couple missed layups, a free throw miss here and there. Cade was missing putback bunnies. They was able to get physical with Cade, but we couldn't get physical with Brunson. So, yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies there. But in the fourth quarter, as soon as it started, I don't know what that was, because they had a lot of momentum coming into that fourth quarter. They was up 8. Now, did they kind of stumble into the fourth quarter? Yes. Yes, they had a lot of opportunities for that lead to balloon to like 16 in the third quarter alone. They had a bunch of opportunities where that lead could have really ballooned, and they let it slip. I would be great to have. If you're right about Schroeder, he made a difference in the game. Yeah, he the one. He did make the. He didn't get the inbounds in the fourth quarter. I don't know per se if that was his fault, but they need him to score, and they gonna need him to be the primary ball handler, because once they start moving Cade off the ball, and he can start getting some shots, off the ball screen, he'll be all right. They ain't gonna have no other choice but to play how to play him. So you got to get the ball out of his hand and get him catching on the move. And once that happens, it ain't nothing they can do, because they can't double team him. So Cade made a lot of the right decisions yesterday and what they had him doing. He made a lot of right decisions. He made the right passes. And they played him really, really physical, because he a bigger guard. And they know he played for Detroit. And they're not going to let him score. I mean, they're not going to give him the calls. So, you know how that goes. I'm out here struggling with this dog. Come on. Supposed to be giving him a bath. I don't feel like it. But to be honest, Schroeder gonna have to be more aggressive, and Schroeder, or if they ain't gonna play Sasser, Thompson, you could probably be like, you know what, the Pistons don't need another scorer, another big star. They should ride it out. And only reason I say they should ride it out is you gonna tell me Asar and Ron Holland's gonna start shooting the ball better. Because that's the only thing them Thompson boys missing is the ability to shoot the ball. So if Asar can shoot that rock, you know, Pistons probably, and with a healthy Ivy, I mean, Asar can just shoot it. Pistons win the series pretty easy. That's the only thing he missing. So same thing for Ron. So do you bank on the development of them shooting? I mean, we seen Ivy jump shot. It turned into water this year. Who else shooting the ball well this year? Anthony Edwards is another guy. Say what you want to say about him off the floor. I mean, he defeated Malik Beasley to make the most threes this year. So, really, if you can get Thompson and Hollins to shoot that rock, you probably really talking about championship level team with some more seasoning. So, they got a decision to make, but one of their decisions, it got a lot to do with them two guys, you know, developing. You know, so even if you was to get an Ivy back next year, we just never seen a large sample size of him and Cade Cunningham. So that's what you gotta ask yourself. What is the sample size gonna look like? A large size gonna look like? So, but yesterday, it was disheartening because for a while, the third quarter was kicking their ass this year. They get Schroeder. They fixed the third quarter. Yesterday, you start off the fourth quarter like that. But, like I said, the third was shaky. It was a shaky quarter. Double tap the screen to like the video. The third was a shaky quarter. Because I'm telling y'all, it was a real opportunity for them to go up. No. For them to go up about 16 points. So they missed that. They missed yesterday. So in my opinion, the third quarter, it did turn into a problem. Duren, we're gonna need some more out of him. In the second half, he started to figure it out. You know, he started to make an impact. But to be honest with you, Isaiah Stewart, I don't know his health, but Isaiah Stewart, they gonna need him. You know, if Duren don't step up, continue to step up like he did in the second half yesterday, Stewart, you know, it may need to be a case to be said that Stewart should start. The way he was playing yesterday, when he was healthy, it may be a case for him to need to start. But like I said, in the second half, Duren stepped up. He did. He started to step up, rebound, defend. So I know people was blaming, JB Bickerstaff. It wasn't nothing that he can do. You know, when you talking about you putting players in position to make open dunks, and Tim Hardaway dunks the ball, but you know the ball bops, it goes in, it comes out, and they say, well, that's a goaltend. What? Okay, if it was a goaltend, at least it should have been a foul. You know, you hit Asar Thompson, come down, miss a dunk. I believe both of them was in the third quarter. I think you had Cade missed a couple bunnies. I think you had Duren miss a putback. So there was a lot of opportunities that they left on the table yesterday. I'm telling you. They left a lot of food on the table yesterday in that third quarter. And that bad juju that they had in the third quarter, you were like, okay, all that stuff went bad. They still up 8. It still carried over. It wasn't that was shell shocked. They momentum didn't ride with them from the third to the fourth because it started to get away in the third quarter. The refs started to make questionable calls. You know, Brunson started heating up because he started getting these foul calls. You know, if the NBA really want to fix itself, it's got to start with fouling. They got to redefine what a foul is. If I touch another player, that's not a foul. If I bump another player, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. These players should be able to play through contact. That's all I'm saying, dog. Like every time they bumpy, you got an offensive player put their shoulder into the defender to foul on the defender. How? But that's what I be seeing when we start talking about like who to go and talking about the numbers. Like, dog, a lot of these dudes in this era is really benefited from really artificial number stuff past that. They've been padding their stats in this era with free throws, bullshit ass foul calls. They don't, even from now to the T-Mac era, it was harder for T-Mac to score, 10, 15 years ago than it is not today. It's easy to score. It's easy to score today. Because can't nobody fucking touch you. Can't nobody touch you. Hold on. He said the Pistons win game 2 is going 6. He said the passing was sloppy all game. They weren't ready for them. I really wasn't surprised by the passing. Um, I was surprised by the amount of blown layups that they missed, to be honest. They blew so many layups. That's what was disturbing. Dunks and layups was being blown. Bunnies was being missed. Putbacks was being missed. Yep, don't touch the roster unless you can get D-Book without giving up young. I wouldn't even mind giving up some young talent for a guy like Booker because there's a conflict of interest. Because you get Booker, what you gonna do with Asar Thompson and Ivy? So you're gonna have to give up some. I don't mind giving up somebody. And really the question is at that point, depending on who you get, who do you give up? And it's really boiled down between Ron Hollins and Asar Thompson. That's the question. That's the $1 million question. Now, in my opinion, it just depends. I say I keep Ron from the simple fact, the health issue, and the fact that his size allows him to be able to play the 4. That's it. But Asar Thompson is hard to give up on, but at some point, he can't play at the power forward like Ron can. And for the most part, they're pretty much the same player. I think Asar is a little bit better ball handler, a little bit better passer. Right now, a better defender, but Ron going to be able to defend 4 positions eventually. But it all depends. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you should give... I'm not... Like I said, I don't know. Like, if it's a guy like John Morant, no. If it's a guy like... If it's a guy like Ja... If it's a guy... No. Trae Young, maybe you had that conversation. Devin Booker, definitely. Kevin Durant, I don't think it's a good fit. But, you know, you had those conversations, right? But to get somebody, you're going to have to give up some. Zion Williamson, I'm not giving up nobody. They should be giving me pieces to take Zion on, but that's a different question for a different day. This is learning experience for Cade. He will become dominant game 2. Yeah, it may take a series or 2 for him to figure it out. But they had to anticipate that's how they was going to guard him. They had to anticipate that. I figured he handled it well yesterday. He didn't try to force scoring. I think he made the right passes. And I think ultimately what hurt him most was, you know, he wasn't getting the calls that Brunson was getting. Simple as that. He wasn't getting the calls that Brunson was getting. When B2 left the game, it flipped instantly, and it did. Yep. When he left the game, it turned on. The game turned on his side. It did. It really did. The game turned on his side. All our bigs had at least 4 fouls by the third. Yeah. And they rescinded one for Jalen Dern. That was a clean block. They had to challenge it. Or he could have had 5 pretty quickly. And that was a clean block. It's just you just looking at how they score in this game. I mean, how they call the NBA game. It's weak. It's weak. It's weak. That was the worst call I've seen. Pistons will win series in 7. I don't see them winning this series, to be honest. That's my opinion on it. Yeah, I don't see them winning this series. I think they might be able to steal a game, but it's an uphill battle, especially with Beast getting injured, and it's evident now they're missing another scorer. You know, so they ain't supposed to be here no way. The jump that they made was unreal. So, but they need to learn from this. And to be honest, they should have won yesterday. But Stewart just showed how important he was. That's because Duran is always a step behind. His development, it took him a minute to warm up this season. His development, he learned a little bit slower than everybody else. So that was an issue. But in the second half, he started to pick it up yesterday. So, Karl-Anthony Towns, I knew he was going to be a problem, especially if you got Tobias Harris guarding him. And that became a problem. They weren't there for as soon as the fourth quarter started, they literally gave up. I don't know what it was, but they literally gave up. I got the most difficult dog to walk in the world. He always want to go do something that he ain't got no business doing. They tried to do that with the Lakers. I ain't watched the Laker game. I can imagine they want the Lakers and the Warriors. I'm telling you that right now. At some point, the NBA is not hiding who they are no more. It's stop. It's legit the WWE. It's rigged. They so lazy. They don't want to figure out what the problem is. And with social media, it's pretty easy to figure out what the problem is. Fans are talking about it. Too many free throws, too many threes, too many fouls. We want parity. And they're going to continue to ride this LeBron wave out and Steph wave out as long as possible. And people tired of it. You can see the excitement with the Pistons stepping in there. You seen the excitement last year with the Pacers. The Knicks being back. People tired of seeing LeBron. Tired of that shit, man. Tired of seeing Steph Curry. There's always somebody coming to saving LeBron and Steph Curry ass. If it ain't KD, it's Jimmy Butler. If it ain't Jimmy Butler, it's Anthony Davis or Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh or now Luka Doncic. And I seen Ant-Man from the highlights was cooking that hole last night. And we all know LeBron ain't doing this on the up and up neither, if you catch my drift. LeBron not doing this on the up and up at all. He got some secret sauce. We know it. 21 run. Yeah, 21 and 0 run. What were the Pistons at last night? They're like the fourth quarter. It's like all they PlayStation controller buttons got jammed. All they buttons got jammed. Grizzlies getting 50 piece of South Division before we knew that. Ja Morant, he another guy. The opposite of what I said about Anthony Edwards. Ja Morant is a guy who don't work on his game. Every year he come back with the same broke jump shot. He come back with the same broke jumper every year. He don't get no stronger. He don't put no weight on. Therefore, he don't have no durability. There you go. So it don't surprise me. He still can't shoot. I mean, when you talk about Zion Williamson, take away the issues off the court. Y'all see any improvement in Zion Williamson game? You know, he come back, no jumper, no new post moves, no new attributes. Excuse me. It's the same ass shit with him every year. That's one thing I like about the young Pistons. Last year, coming to this year, what did Ivy do? Ivy got a better jump shot. He came back shooting 40% from three. Cade come back more efficient, a better shooter, a better basketball player. You know? So, yeah. Ja come back the same motherfucker, bro. And he's still immature in the mind. He could have been the face of the league. He wouldn't be in a strip club pointing guns or having a gun and in the car flashing another gun on camera. You know? And then you come back every year, you missing 20, 30, 40 games. That's going to be an interesting 30 for 30. Y'all want to hear a good 30 for 30? That draft with Zion and Ja and RJ Barrett, that's going to be a good 30 for 30. Because it ain't like injury stopped them per se. They wanted to be non-basketball players. Niggas wanted to go procreate with porn stars and niggas wanted to be gangsta. Best believe me, if I had millions of dollars, I'm not about to be in no strip club. I don't get niggas infatuation with the strip club. Niggas will go to the strip club but won't go pick something out from the Salvation Army. Ain't that wild? That's crazy. Y'all won't use coochie, but not use cools. Pugs. He said them boys going on vacation. Austin ain't. No, they ain't grinding. Look at Rudy Gobert. Every year he come back, same bum ass nigga. Every year. Nothing new. Nothing new. So, if the Pistons can get Ryan and Asar to shoot the ball better, it's over with. I'm saying that right now. Yeah, okay, see, a dog. They some dogs. You gotta forget they tried to trade us Shea for Shea and what, the 5th pick that year for Cade. The year Cade came out, they offered us SGA and like the 5th pick, which I think we would have took Franz Wagner. But Orlando, another team to watch. You know, they're another team. Without injuries, they'd be right up there with us right now. But the Pistons, where the Pistons thrive at, the Magic, that's where they need improvement at. And where the Magic thrive at is where we need another scorer. The Mavericks got two top scorers, Franz and Paolo. But what they don't got is they don't really got no true point guard. All they point guards is like, Suggs. I know he injured. He really ain't no true point. Cole Anthony, he more of a tweener. So, if you had a guy like Cade over there, man, they probably be going to the championship this year. Drew Holiday over there, something like that to help them. And we just need the additional score. That's what we hurting at. We need the additional score. So it'll be interesting, but game 2 tomorrow for the Pistons and the Knicks. So we'll see how it play out. But yeah, they play well all game. In that third quarter, when they ain't separate themselves, that's where it started to get funnier. So we'll see what happened with Beef Stew. But if not, we really need Dern to step up. So we'll see what Cade can get you. It's very encouraging to see Tobias and Tim Hardaway play well. And they've been in these spots before. So now if we can get Cade to play well, if we can get Duran to play well, we'll be all right. So let me know what y'all think, man. Appreciate y'all for checking out. What you think about the Wolves? I ain't watched the first game last night. But yeah, I'm a huge Anthony Edwards fan. Dame, Anthony Edwards, Cade, Paolo, they're my 4 favorite players. So I doubt if the NBA let them steal game 2. So they'll find a way to give it to the Lakers. But we'll see, man. But I'm pulling for them. I appreciate y'all. Peace.